Facebook under Gideon Alvin White. I be around. I talk a bunch of trash. So if you sensitive, don't check me out. But yo, let's talk about this whole COVID situation. When this whole COVID came about, people got sick. I was one of them. I had it last year. It is what it is. I got over it. But here's the other thing. They forced out this vaccine. I call it a faux vaccine. The reason I call it a faux vaccine is because it clearly tells you it does not prevent you from catching the virus. So if you get a polio vaccine, it prevents you from catching polio, even if you are exposed to polio. If you get a measles vaccine, it prevents you from catching measles, even though you are exposed to it. And then I read on the CDC website, a vaccine provides immunity. And then when you look at the definition of immunity on the CDC website as well, it says the ability to be exposed to an infectant or what was the term? I can't remember the terminology used, but it would allow you, it will prevent you from becoming infected. Okay, that's a vaccine, something that you get and it prevents you from catching it. Now they have Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, there is Pfizer, and there's also AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca isn't allowed in the US, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But these vaccines are made differently. Except Johnson & Johnson is a viral vector. It takes a very similar virus and stimulates the immune response from your system. Meanwhile, the other are mRNA viruses. They don't contain any active viruses, just messenger RNA to tell your cells how to fight something. So it basically skips a step, which is more efficient. This stuff has been worked on for like 50 years. I get that. I get that. Now, when Biden took office and he started pushing out the vaccine, they asked him, would it be forced? Biden specifically said, we will not force the vaccine. But now they're telling people, employers, that, hey, in order to work here, you have to get the vaccine, the faux vaccine. You have to get the vaccine. Why? You have to get the vaccine. You could be spreading COVID and you could spread it to other people. So in order to prevent that, you got to get the vaccine. However, you can still get and spread it with the vaccine. Now, with that said, I run into a lot of people who are, then I wouldn't call them anti-vax because they've used and gotten their kids shot up or inoculated, excuse me, with several other vaccines in the past. So you can't call somebody anti-vax if they've been vaccinated with several things before. An anti-vaxxer does not do vaccines, period. So let's get that clear. But they are against the COVID vaccine because it was thrown together pretty quickly. Yes, the technology has been around for over 50 years. They've been studying it and whatnot. However, it has never been rolled out on such a large scale. These are just facts. Look them up yourself. Don't look at YouTube. Cross-reference everything. I know it's ironic I'm saying don't look at YouTube, but cross-reference everything I say and look for facts. All right. This is the first large-scale rollout. They've never rolled it out in anything anywhere near this large, but it's been working. It's been shown effective, and I got it. Well, I did my research and I went with Moderna because it tends to be stronger than Pfizer and especially Johnson & Johnson. Moderna ended up being the choice for me, but I chose this. All right. This video is from someone who has been faux vaccinated, and I chose it on my own free will and on my own accord. Nobody forced me. My job didn't force me. No restaurants or anywhere else. Nowhere forced me to get this faux vaccine. So with that said, nobody forced it on me, but they're trying to force it on other people, and I'm not with that. If the vaccine works so well, and I believe it does, why am I worried about someone else not getting vaccinated? People say, well, if someone's not vaccinated, they can catch it and they can spread it to someone. But people who are vaccinated are still spreading it. These are facts. Google it. Speak to scientists, speak to doctors, speak to all of them. These are facts. People are, in fact, spreading it even with it. Some people are dying. The only reason I got the vaccine that I chose to is because I stand a much higher probability of survival with the vaccination. That's it. The faux vaccination. Because if it's a vaccination, I wouldn't even be catching it. I wouldn't be afraid of catching it. This mitigates symptoms. It doesn't really vaccinate, it mitigates symptoms. But they said, we're not going to force it. We're not going to force it. We're not going to force it. Then what do? They force it. Biden has a mandate out saying employers with over 100 employees employees have to be vaccinated. Why? Other places are saying in restaurants, you can't go in unless you're vaccinated. Grocery stores, you can't go in unless you're vaccinated. So you can't go to the grocery store to buy food to cook. You can't go to work so you can earn money to buy food, to live, and to pay bills. You can't go to a place physically to pay bills. You can't work to make money. You can't go to a movie. You can't shop, and you can't go to a restaurant unless you get this inoculation, unless you get shot up with this vaccine. But then they say, oh, we're not forcing it. Yes, you are. Like, no, we're not forcing it. We're just going to make it so that you can't do anything and you have to get it. That's forcing, and that's wrong, period. And people say, well, I don't want to be around anybody that's non-vaccinated. They're dangerous. But if the vaccination works, why do I care? I don't care if I'm around people being vaccinated. I'm not one of these people pontificating on, well, I'm vaccinated and these people aren't this and these people aren't that. No. My vaccination works, and I'm not afraid of it. I have natural immunity and vaccinated immunity. I believe in it. Not immunity, I should say, but protection. I believe in it. That's why I got it. I haven't had any side effects except the headache the first day, and that only lasted maybe a few minutes. I didn't take anything for it. Second shot, I didn't have any side effects. But if you're not vaccinated, it doesn't matter. I don't care. You're the one who's risking it. You're the one who could potentially kill someone. You're the one, could potentially kill yourself. We both could kill someone else that isn't vaccinated. We both can catch the disease. We both can spread the disease. So if this vaccination doesn't stop us from catching it, doesn't stop us from spreading it, it lowers the probability dramatically of dying from it. That's it. That's literally all that thing does. So why is it such a mandate? Why don't we get our scientists and our doctors to go back to the lab, start from scratch, or matter of fact, don't start from scratch, start from where you are and come with something better. Come with the faux vaccine 2.0. Come with a real vaccine. How about that? That gives us some real immunity. That's all I want. I just want I want this thing to be over. I'm so sick and tired of looking like, babe, you were an adult when you found the darkness, but I grew up in the darkness. I did not see the light until I was already a man. I'm looking like Bane with these masks on. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to go back to regular everyday life. All right? That's what I want to do. Go back to regular everyday life and not have to worry about, oh my God, I got to put on this mask. I got to wear this. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. On another note, I'm tired. Well, even on that, I'm sick of this whole vaccine mandate. Everybody, you're vax, you're vax, you're unvax, you're unvax, you're vax. Okay, do what works for you. I did it. I'm not going to tell you you should do it. I'm not going to tell you you shouldn't do it. I just told you I decided to do it because it worked for me. And that's it. That is the full extent of my opinion on the COVID-19 for vaccination. It is what it is, but make the right choice for you. Don't let anybody else influence you. Well, try not to, since they're forcing the vaccine, even though they said they wouldn't. Like, hey, we're not going to force it, but you can't go to work. We're not going to force it, but you can't go shopping. We're not going to force it. You can't grocery shop. We're not going to force it. You can't go to a restaurant. We're not going to force it, but you can't go to a movie theater. We're not going to force it, but you can't go to any public place. It's insane. Then, what else is it about this thing? But yeah, I don't agree with the forcing. I can't get behind that. I got it because I chose to get it. But don't try to force somebody to get it. That's wrong. What else? And Krispy Kreme talking about a free donut for vaccinated people. Really? It's worth it. Are you that fat that you're willing to inoculate yourself with a vaccine for a free donut? I really hope not. And then they're selling free vaccination cards to show the dates that you've been vaccinated. Even though it's not real, they just do that just to, get people in places. I don't agree with that, but I understand it. People are trying to live their lives, and you want to try to take their choice away, and that's wrong. It's wrong. And these fuel prices, oh my God, these are hitting my pockets hard. When I say hoard, I mean hoard. It is what it is, though. It's a part of the game. Cost of business going up. Another thing, there is no driver shortage. But I'll talk about that on another video, all right? Peace.